أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. We seek refuge in Allah from the accursed shaitan. With the name of Allah, beneficent and merciful, we bear witness that nothing deserves to be worshipped but Allah. And we bear witness to Muhammad ibn Abdullah, may God's peace and blessing be upon him, is Allah's last messenger and slave servant. And welcome to Masjid Ashura, a Dawah community under the leadership of Amir Hajid Ali Muwakil. At this time, believers, friends, and family and guests, we want to practice social distancing, and you should have a mask on, inshallah. And with that being said, we're going to introduce our brother, our security chief here, the personal bodyguard of our Amir, a da'i, meaning he calls to people to la ilaha illallah, brother Hajid Sharif. We bring him up with takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
Takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
Takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
is Akbar. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his last servant and prophet. All thanks and praise are due to Allah. We seek his help and forgiveness, and we seek refuge in Allah from the evil within ourselves and the consequences of our evil deeds. Whoever Allah guides, none can lead astray. And whoever Allah leads astray, surely none can guide. I bear witness there is no God but Allah, alone without any partners. And I bear witness that Muhammad ibn Abdullah, may Allah's peace and blessings forever be upon him, is his servant and messenger. Indeed, the best speech is the speech of Allah, and the best guidance is the guidance of Prophet Muhammad. May Allah's peace and blessings be upon him. And the worst of matters are those innovated by people, and every religious innovation is misguidance, and every misguidance is the hellfire, is in the hellfire. I greet you, my dear brothers and sisters, with greetings from Adam to Muhammad of Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
And I'd like to extend a special greeting of peace and love to our leader and founder of Masjid Ashura and the beautiful Salam Memorial Cemetery, which is on the grounds of Masjid Ashura at 3095 Jonesboro Road in Atlanta, Georgia. Amir Fahid Ali Muwakil and his family of Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
You know, every time I have the pleasure of giving a khutbah, I begin my khutbah with saying, with that saying I said a few minutes ago, giving all thanks and praise to our Creator. And in that saying, I talk about innovation. Sometimes it's not just enough to say something or use certain terminology without also adding the benefit of explanation. Because interpretation is one of the foremost confusions and sometimes misguidance that we have in our society, is interpretation. So what do I mean, or what do we mean? Because I'm not the only one that says that, begins khutbahs with that. So what do we mean when we talk about innovation? We talk about religious innovation. Well, in this instance, the innovation we're speaking of is the creation or development, not just the creation or development, but also the implementation, which means the practice or the use of a new process or service with the aim of gaining a competitive advantage. How do we have a religious innovation? How do we gain a competitive advantage? And what's the gain by that competitive advantage in innovating things into a religion? Well, the best example that I can think of when it comes to that type of innovation is that God is a man. Astaghfirullah. That's an innovation. And that leads to the hellfire. So we want to make sure when we speak about things that we also try to give an explanation and understanding the best that we can. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us if we are in error or in misguidance when we speak on things. But give those explanations so that the people that we're speaking to can have a better understanding of what we're saying. And the last khutbah I gave I believe I recited the opening, the Al-Fatiha. Well, sometimes the best place to begin is at the beginning. And so since we've already began at the beginning, let's continue in that line of understanding. So now I'll begin at Al-Baqarah, Surah 2. In the name of God, the most compassionate, the most merciful. Alif, Lam, Mim. This is the book. There is no doubt about it. A guide for those mindful of God, who believe in the unseen, establish prayer, and donate from what we have provided for them, and who believe in what has been revealed to you, O Prophet, and what was revealed before you, and have sure faith in the hereafter. It is they who are truly guided by their Lord, and it is they who will be successful. As for those who persist in disbelief, it is the same whether you warn them or not. They will never believe. God has sealed their hearts and their hearing, and their sight is covered. They will suffer a tremendous punishment. And there are some who say, we believe in God in the last day, yet they are not true believers. They seek to deceive God and the believers, yet they only deceive themselves. But they fail to perceive it. There is a sickness in their hearts, and only God lets their sickness increase. SubhanAllah. There is a sickness in their hearts, and God only lets their sickness increase. They will suffer a painful punishment for their lies. When they are told, do not spread corruption in the land, they reply, we are only peacemakers. Indeed, it is they who are the corrupters, but they fail to perceive it. And when they are told, believe as others believe, they reply, will we believe as the fools believe? Indeed, it is they who are fools, but they do not know. When they meet the believers, they say, we believe. But when alone with their evil associates, they say, we are definitely with you. We were only mocking. God will throw their mockery back at them, leaving them to continue wandering blindly in their defiance. They are the ones who trade guidance for misguidance. But this trade is profitless, and they are not rightly guided. Their example is that of someone who kindles a fire, but when it lights up all around them, God takes away the light, leaving them in complete darkness, unable to see. They are willfully deaf, dumb, and blind, so they will never return to the right path. Surely Allah speaks the truth. It is important that when we come up here, we read from the Quran and we give the people what is in this book. What is in this book exactly as it is. What is in this book. Because that's the best guidance. What comes out of here. Everything I stand up here and say that doesn't come out of here, it could be tainted with emotion. It could be tainted with past personal experiences. And we all know everybody has different past personal experience that can shape the way they feel or treat people. Well, alhamdulillah, we have a guidance, and I show the book. We show the book when we come up here. There's a reason we show this book. There's a reason. One of the reasons we show this book is because we want everybody to see clearly, this is what you need, and this is why we say what we say and where it comes from. We don't have to If I have the book down here and I'm speaking to you and I'm speaking to you and I'm speaking to you, and I tell you, hey, go and study and get it for yourself. One of the hardest things that I've come across with in life as far as dealing with something and understanding how stress comes upon somebody is having instructions or orders given to you that you have to follow out. As a supervisor, you have a group of people, you have to give them instructions and you tell them, okay, the instructions are to clean the masjid, you vacuum, you paint, you clean the bathroom, you cut the grass. That's easy, right? That's easy. Anybody can do that. I'm pretty good supervisor. You vacuum, you clean the bathroom, you cut the grass, you paint. No stress in it, just giving out orders. Now, if my leader tells me, Sharif, what I want you to do is give out those orders and document all of those things. Put it on the assigned paperwork, who you had clean what time they clean, where they clean, how they clean. Did they do a good job of cleaning that stuff? Make it happen. And my leader walks away. And I have no idea where to get that document. That thing I just did earlier that was so easy has just become extremely stressful. Because I don't know where to get the documents to put the people's names. So now I'm wondering, man, how am I going to do this? I got to document this and stuff, and then I got to send it to him. I don't even have his email address. Man, I wish he would have gave me that email address so that I know who to send it to. All of a sudden, this supervisory position became a little bit too much. And the same things have to be done. Now, that leader gives me everything I need. Everything I need to get that job done, to document. Gives me all the paperwork. This is the paperwork where you fill out who did what. This is the paperwork that you fill out how long it took them to do it, what time they started, what time they finished. This is the email that when you're finished with it, you email it to this email address to me. Job complete. Guess what? I just became a supervisor again. Because I was given all the tools necessary to be successful in that job or that venture. These are all the tools that we need in life to be successful. These are all the tools right here contained in this holy book, the Quran. So now, let's speak about a couple of things in the ayahs that I read. One of the things I read, and I'll read it again. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Surah 2, ayah 17. Their example is that of someone who kindles a fire, but when it lights up all around them, God takes away their light, leaving them in complete darkness, unable to see. What is wrong with that person? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't take away their knowledge. They were able to kindle the fire. They had the knowledge and ability to kindle the fire. And when Allah took away their light, when He took the light away, what prevented them from rekindling that fire? We clearly know they knew how to do it because they kindled the fire. Well, what prevented them from rekindling that fire so they can see? Did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, I'm not going to let you rekindle the fire? That's it, shutting you down. Well, let's see. Let's continue. Surah 2, ayah 18. They are willfully deaf, dumb, and blind, so they will never return to the right path. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't abandon them in darkness when He took away that light. They are willfully deaf, dumb, and blind. Well, what is willfully? What do we mean by that? Willfully deaf, dumb, and blind. Well, they have the definition of willfully a stubborn and determined intention to do as one wants, regardless of the consequences. Regardless of the consequences. And the only way to be in disregard of something is to know it in the first place. So they know there's consequences. That's the mercy of Allah. Allah has continuously blessed man with prophets and signs to keep us on the right path, and leaders to keep us on the right path. So his mercy is abundant. His mercy is limitless. But when we're willfully deaf, dumb, and blind, we know the consequence, and we continue in that misguidance, when we continue in that innovation, then we inherit what we work so hard to get, and that's the hellfire. And when you're willfully deaf, dumb, and blind, you'll never return to the right path, because that's your choice to continue. Give up your will and try to follow the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And let's see how that tends to shape our actions, our choices, and how we treat one another in this life, in this society. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Yeah, this is kind of difficult. You know, it's you some people would think, you have less time to do something, it makes it easier. But you have less time to try to get across a message and an understanding that you, even yourself, are still struggling and trying to understand. It's a lot tougher. It's a whole lot tougher. You have to give a lot of information in a short period of time. I equated it earlier to this. Imagine trying to learn algebra in 1 hour. All of algebra in 1 hour. Then imagine trying to learn all of algebra in a month. It might not be as hard if you have a whole month to learn it. But you break that down to an hour, it can be difficult. But alhamdulillah, what we want when we come up here is to give people the message that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants them to hear. And what is time to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala?
Take your time, bro.
That message could be given to you in 1 minute. That message could have been given to you the second I stood up here. That could have been enough. Before I stood up here, that message was given to you. Now, we say a lot of things up here. That's going to go into, I'm going to explain to you when I said before I came up here, that message was given to you in a second. We say a lot of things up here. And a lot of the things we say can appear to be attacking Christianity. Christian folk feel like, you attacking us. Because, interpretation of words. If your belief is that a man is God, and I stand up here and I tell you all the reasons why that is fallacy. I can give you the scientific, the spiritual. I can break it down into any kind of reason you want me to give you. I can break it down to you why that's a fallacy. Even to the point of this. See, if I say this to the Christian folks out there, you believe God was a man, so you believe your God was unsuccessful. You believe God was unsuccessful. Now, you believe God was a man and he came down here to save the people. But these people ain't saved. We know that. Now, you said he came here. You said he walked the earth. You said he came here to save the folks. But you're still drinking. You're still smoking. You're still fornicating. You're still acting like wild fools in the streets. So you're forcing me to say one or two things. Either your guy gave up and said, I can't deal with these humans, I'm out, or he was just unsuccessful. So now you got an unsuccessful God, and that, as Muslims, that hurts us when we hear that. That hurts our hearts. Christians have no idea how badly it hurts us when you misinterpret Jesus to society. Because the love we have for Christ, that hurts us. And so we have to come up here and tell you that. But when we tell you, it seems like you're attacking them. So sometimes you just can't use words. So give me 1 second. Come around here just in case. I don't want nothing to go.
Allahu Akbar.
Didn't say a word. Did not say a word. Before I came up here, did not have to say a word. We're not attacking you. Our Christian brothers and sisters, our Jewish brothers and sisters, atheists, we ain't attacking you. We are trying to save you.
Allahu Akbar.
We're trying to save you. We're trying to free you. We're trying to free a slave. That's what we're trying to do. And we have the tool that will free the slave. We have the tool that will free you. This fights oppression. You know, you can't accept Islam and be oppressive. You know, it's one thing to hear a call, it's another thing to answer a call. We got to be extremely grateful. We got to be grateful. You know, you look at this community, Masjid Ashura. This community, under the leadership of Amir Fahid Ali Muwakil, as I have seen, has been the most consistent protesters protesting in this country and in the world of shirk, of any kind of supremacy, white supremacy, blood gang supremacy. You know, everybody got to feel their little supremacy stuff. We know how the white folk supremacy is in this country. Consistently, myself, well over 16, 17 years. This community, man, the leader of this community, long our leader been a Muslim, well over 40 years. Alhamdulillah, consistently fighting, consistently bringing brothers to protest, to protest, to protest. Weekend after weekend. This is the only year where we didn't march after Ramadan. And why is that? Because of the pandemic, which is real. This thing is real. For safety, but don't think it wasn't in our heart. Don't think it wasn't in our leaders' intentions. We have to be extremely grateful for that. We have to recognize it. So, in my closing, I want to leave my dear brothers and sisters with this. Don't deal in innovation when it comes to religion. You don't have to. Don't have a conversation about religion and Islam and what Islam means, what Islam does, without having this. Without having this in your hand. Be patient. Somebody wants to have a conversation with you about something. If they really, really, really want to get that information, you go to my car and get my Quran. Some sisters carry around their purse. Give me 1 second. Let me get my Quran. Whatever question you have, or whatever question they have, there is an answer. And I know sometimes we can get excited about stuff when we know some things. You're going to sit there and say what you know. But then that interpretation, there's always somebody on the side that go, no. You could beat your wife. You could beat her, man. We got the right to beat her. Hold on, brother. Hold on. Before we get into that deep, let's just see what the Quran says about it. Let's just see what the Quran says about it. And see how long that conversation lasts. Or what kind of understanding that we all gain from having that. You might learn something new yourself. Inshallah. All right? So let's make sure we're doing that. We are being aware that innovation creep up on us. And we don't want that. We don't want no religious innovation.
Alhamdulillah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Takbir!
Allahu Akbar.
Takbir!
Allahu
Takbir!
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu la ilaha illallah, ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah, hayya ala salah, hayya ala falah, qad qamatis salah, qad qamatis salah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, la ilaha illallah.
La ilaha illallah.
So, with your attention, inshallah. Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin.